Hi everybody, this is Diane. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be doing some work on this sewing binder journal that I'm working on. This is the cover. As you can see, I've taken all the papers out. I've wiped down the book as well as I can, but I've got to do some patching in this one. There's a little bit of, it's compromised right at the top and bottom of where the fold is. So I want to reinforce that and make it really good and sturdy. Also, I need to just pretty it up because it's very funky and I love this cover, but it is showing its age even more so than the Better Homes and Gardens one. The Better Homes and Gardens book was in phenomenal shape. This one has some marks on it and just doesn't look the cleanest, and so I want to pretty this up a little bit. I should have shown you when I first started on this book that first time I ever saw a binder like this was when I got one in the Happy Mail, which was made into a journal. I cannot remember who made it, and she didn't put her name in it. So I'm going to have to go through my videos, because I know I videoed it when I got it in the mail. Now, I just made some journaling cards with sewing pattern tissue inside, and I think that's what these are. They're soft, so they're cool. So this is a really fun book. I was delighted to get this book because I just loved it was new to me. I'd never seen it, and I loved the illustrations from the 70s. Look at how pretty that is. So this is a great book. As I haven't used it yet, but I do like to look at it. It's just so cool. I'm not looking at it now, though. I don't want to try to copy anything that she did. So I'm just going to put it away now. I just went and got it so I could show you that I already have one made into a journal. The other thing I wanted to tell you was I thought this was going to be easier to punch the holes because it's only a 3-hole punch, and I thought I could use this. This is just a regular office punch that you would use to punch holes for a standard 3-ring binder, but I thought I could adjust the holes to wherever I needed them, but you can only adjust them to where these little things are, and it doesn't work. So I can't use this, and I can't use this because the holes are spaced so far apart. I put one in the middle.
Here are some results from a search.
Oh, sorry, my tablet just came on. If I put one there, then the next hole would be right off it. So it would just be one hole at a time, and I'm just not gonna mess with that. Although I am gonna have to punch one hole at a time. So I'm just gonna have to use this and punch the holes, but we can manage. So I have the papers cut and ready to go in. I haven't put them in order yet, and I've selected the divider pages and the pages that are going to stay in the book. I'm keeping pretty much all of the divider pages because they're just so cool, and I'm not going to cover them up in any way because I like them just the way they are. And then I will include some of these pages along with the binder when I send it, but unless the person wants all of them, I'm not going to send them all because it adds weight. I did leave a couple of the tabs out. This one is just about buttons and zippers, and this one is the index page. So what I'm going to do now is just see what I can do to strengthen this a bit. Not really sure what I'm going to do. I'm just gonna start, and I need to make a video today, so here we are. So this is a Tyvek envelope. It's just kind of a plasticky material that doesn't tear. So I'm gonna cut this to the right size and glue it, but I'll cover it up. just to help strengthen what we have going on here. Let's try 1.5 inches, and if that's too wide, I can cut it smaller. That looks about right. I'm going to have to cover up part of the pictures to do this. So I'll do this, I'll glue this down, and I want to use, I brought in some vintage sheets, and I believe these are all from the 70s, which this book is from. I'm not sure about that one, I just like the colors of that one, but this looks like a 70s print. Probably should have brought a bigger piece in if I'm going to use that. And this one, that one might even be the 80s, but I'm pretty sure this is the 70s. I might go with this one. But first things first, let's deal with this. Couldn't sleep again last night, so I was in here decorating the pages, embellishing the pages of the first sewing binder. So I got about 3.5 hours of sleep. I had to go to work today. I only worked 3 hours, and then I came home and took a nap. When I take a nap, it's usually only 20 to 30 minutes. I don't want to waste the day away, and that's all I wake up after that, and I'm ready to get up and go after that. Hopefully, I'll be able to sleep better tonight, because I didn't get sleep last night, because I have to go get Layla in the morning again and have her spend the day with me. Then I have one more babysitting day with her the first week of September, and then she'll go to school. It's just been really super busy the last month or so. I mean, I've had a busy summer, but the last month or so has been really crazy between work and watching kids and trying to do what I need to do to get my house cleaned out and ready to be sold, and trying to work on journals. So I don't know if it's going to slow down at all, ever. It has to. It just has to, because I'm going to break. Now, I'd like this to go around. I don't want to bend that till it's dry enough, but see, it's disintegrating right there a little bit, so I want the fabric to go over this somehow. Kind of wrap around it. So I'm gonna tear this long enough. It's quite a thin sheet. I gotta get my fabric scissors. See what it looks like if I just wrap it all the way around. Oh, that looks fine. Yeah, and I can put some trim on it too. Yeah, I like that. I did have a sheet that was orange and yellow, but I don't think I have any more of that. That would have been perfect for this. It was the same pattern as this, but it was orange and yellow. Oh, I'm tearing this the opposite direction. Cut some of the length off. Someone had commented on one of my videos, or she asked me, left me a message on Etsy, I don't remember, but asked me what to do if you get one of these binders and it's really bad shape, like the covers are coming off. Would that be worth making a journal out of? Could you just take the covers off, not use this part, and just make a journal out of it? I told her I don't purchase them if they're in bad shape, but she acquired a couple of them, I guess, for 50 cents and didn't want to pass them up, which I totally get. But there's no reason why you can't just remove the cover from this, use this for something else if you want to, and then just construct a new spine and make a junk journal just like a normal vintage book cover. I would do that. Okay, let's get this glued on. This is how I do it if I'm covering the spine. I'm just going to have to do it twice, one on either side of the binder thingy. Once you glue the fabric on, you don't want to bend the spine until it's dry, or else the fabric will shift and pull. You don't want that to happen. I hope you can see. I've got a mess here. Do I say that on every video? I've got a mess. Because whenever I'm creating, I have a mess. Make sure it's lined up properly on this side. Got a long thread from the sheet just sticking to my finger because there's glue on my finger. Okay. I'll do this side, and then we get the fun part of selecting trims. Did I cut this part? I did not cut this part. That helps hide the dirty spine too, but I'm gonna have to put some lace over that because, you know, I don't mind some staining and marks on vintage books. They are vintage, but that bugs me because I think it just looks dirty, and I couldn't get it to come clean. And it is a pretty spine. I hate to cover it, but I'm going to. That's what it looks like on the inside and the outside. Well, the pink goes well with the pink colors that are in this cover, so that's great. Now, I brought over, it's actually sitting on my other chair, some of my upholstery trims. And I thought I had my rickrack, but I guess I didn't bring that over. It's too short. So this would work on the inside. I want something a little more decorative on the outside. And before I glue it down, I want to make sure I don't want to do any more decorating. Thinking about just putting patches on some of the areas that look the worst. Just see what you think. Doesn't have to be sheets. I can get some other fabrics. I have some upholstery trim and some of the 70s braid. If I can find one that's not too wide or the right colors. Ouch. That one's wide. This one's kind of wide too. Maybe I could put it right down the center. Think about that. That's funky. I don't want to close it up yet. Might not be quite dry. Oh, I have some of these gorgeous trims from, I think they're from Eva. But either I think they aren't the right style or color, or else I just am hoarding and am not ready to give them up yet. Which is it? I don't know. See, I don't really like that color with it. That's kind of cool. 70s fringe, right? Might be able to do that. I hope you don't think I'm ruining it with all this gaudy stuff, but it is the 70s. I actually think the 80s was gaudier. If we had to go back to a decade of style, I would choose the 70s over the 80s. But I think my first choice would be the 40s. I like their style. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this, but I'm going to cut it just in case. I can always use it for something else if I don't use it here. I'm going to get some more fabrics. My workspace is shrinking here. Okay, so I've got this piece that I can use there. I have this piece, which is really cool. I love this vintage fabric. I really don't want to cover up too much more of that sewing machine. So I would put the fringe like right on this fabric so it's not extending out and covering more. Same with that. Is it all just too much? Am I getting tacky here? Are you all yelling at me to stop? That calms it down, and it matches that blue. It matches that blue. So I'm thinking that we need to change out that also. Let me get my rickrack. Got this really wide rickrack. That might be cool. Yeah. Is that better? Are you all calming down now? I think I like this better. I mean, I was trying to go for, 70s, but this is more me. Even though I was a teen in the 70s. I wasn't a hippie. That looks better. I like that. Well, I had fun playing around with the funky stuff for a bit. But those items will work on some other project, I'm sure. I don't think I'm liking this color with all of this, though. I'd be curious to know which way you liked it the best. Wild and crazy 70s or toned down shabby chic 70s. I know shabby chic is from the 90s, I think, right? was going to tear that on an angle, but you can't. You can't tear on an angle. It goes on the grain. Okay, we're going to go with what we have here. I still have a lot of glue in my broken glue bottle. So the sheet is vintage, and I believe that aqua lace down the center is vintage, but this wide rickrack is not vintage. You know, I wouldn't have looked at this bright book cover and thought, I'm going to put pink and aqua on that. But I think it helps tone it down a little bit. But if I had had the yellow and orange sheet of this design, I probably would have put that there, and that would have changed the whole thing. Fold it now. Trying to get the threads off my gluey fingers. I guess that's going to be good enough for now. If I want to add anything else to it, I can. So now I'm just going to clean the fabric off my desk so I can start punching paper. But you don't have to watch me do that. That's going to be a boring, tedious process. So I will be back when I have something else to share with you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.